Let me tell you a short story. A baby boy is born, a twin, prematurely. Beside him, a baby girl cries as he's fed more milk than her. She dwindles and eventually dies. The distraught parents take the boy to a gravesite where they've purchased two plots with engraved tombstones. Under one stone lies his twin sister. The other grave is empty. Perched above it, a stone with his name on it. Death of his sister will haunt his subconscious for the rest of his life. The boy drifts through school after his parents separate, eventually dropping out of university due to anxiety. He begins writing and selling short science fiction stories. His publishing will eventually win him some acclaim and allows him to survive, but never comfortably. In fact, during one rough stretch, he must eat dog food, as it's all he can afford. While writing these stories, he abuses amphetamines, suffers mood swings, depression, and rides the crests and valleys of several tumultuous relationships. He marries and divorces 5 times. One separation even leads him to attempt suicide. Before his death, he's visited at home by a dark-haired woman. During the brief meeting, the man has an indescribable experience. A beam of light catches his eye, communicates with him, imparts information. It might be God. The man continues to experience visions, hallucinations, and receives memories and information from the mysterious spirit. The memories cause him to believe he's living two parallel lives, out of time, one in the now and one during the time of the ancient Romans. One such vision allows him to diagnose and treat his ill son, who has been seen by several doctors but remains untreated prior to the man's vision. He becomes convinced of the possibility that reality is anything but, that it might be a digital construct of time that does not exist the way we believe it does. He documents his beliefs and experiences. In his middle age, after an interview, he collapses on the floor of his home. He has suffered a stroke and will suffer one more before passing away. Months after his death, one of the greatest science fiction movies ever made is released. It is, of course, based on his work. His stories and novels are adapted into more than a dozen movies and television programs as he posthumously rises to mythical stature as one of the most important writers in the science fiction genre. Sounds like an interesting story, right? It is. It's also the true life and legacy of Philip K. Dick. Philip K. Dick themes. What is reality? What constitutes an authentic human being? Is my dad a jerk? Or has he been replaced by an alien? Is my girlfriend acting strange? Or is it me? Or is she an android? Or is this all a simulation? Ah! Dick pioneered and mastered these themes of science fiction long before The Matrix ever existed. Philip K. Dick was peddling stories that wrestled with reality being a simulation. Long before Marvel movies messed with the multiverse, Philip K. Dick was exploring alternate realities, timelines, and pseudo-worlds. And long before AI humanoids gave creepy interviews, Philip K. Dick was exploring and weighing what it meant to be human. Dick is the king of paranoid mysteries, where the mystery is often, is any of this real? Am I real? Dick struggled with depression and mental illness for much of his life. He went through a period where many of his short stories were being written while high on amphetamines. He had several wives, several cats, was always poor, and also believed late in life that he had been contacted by a spirit that might be God and that the world could have ended during the Roman Empire and we're all just living in a simulation. Throughout his life, he remained adamant that he experienced visions of another reality parallel to our own, fragmented memories from another consciousness that allowed him to predict parts of his own future, including diagnosing his own son's rare undiscovered illness. In fact, there were several incidences of characters or scenes from his stories that he would then experience in real life later after writing. When we talk about Philip K. Dick's ideas and stories being wild, crazy, paranoid, mentally distressing, reality-altering physical experiences, understanding his life helps explain where it all bubbled up from. The Philip K. Dick Reading Experience. No science fiction author has messed with my head the way Philip K. Dick has. My perception of reality and view of the world changed after reading Dick, and there have been numerous reading experiences that left me disturbed and disoriented after reading. The best example of this was reading the Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch, which was a dark, hallucinatory experience that left me physically and mentally shook for hours, and that's not an exaggeration. So what is it about Philip K. Dick stories that make them so special? We've got romance novels that tap into the feeling of love, horror novels that tap into the feeling of fear, and mystery novels that tap into the feeling of curiosity. Philip K. Dick stories tap into the feeling of paranoia. While that might not sound enjoyable, looking at how mainstream Philip K. Dick has become over time tells us that it's a feeling that humans deeply resonate with. Now, your first impression on reading Dick might leave you underwhelmed. How can so many people love a writer with flat characters, clunky writing, narrative plot holes, weak world building, and abrupt endings? It's a great question and not easy to answer. I would say that Philip K. Dick's wildly weird concepts and philosophically mind bending plots have their own uniquely addictive nervous energy that you just won't find anywhere else. Now, you'll probably never come across the perfect Dick story. You'll probably have valid critiques and be left wanting more. But I bet money that his stories will affect you, stick with you, and possibly even change you. That's the Philip K. Dick experience. Philip K. Dick was an idea man. Don't just take my word for it. Understand that Philip K. Dick was a genius when it came to ideas. Just look at this list of movies that Hollywood created from pillaging his ideas. And that list isn't even complete, as it fails to reference movies such as The Truman Show, which was almost definitely yanked from the idea factory of Philip K. Dick's brain, and episodes of popular modern shows such as Rick and Morty that pay obvious direct homage to Philip K. Dick. Cinema and TV loves Philip K. Dick because his stories contain incredibly interesting ideas, but also leave a lot to the imagination. This allows creators to fill in the blanks to suit their needs without having to generate the intriguing concepts. Where to start? So, if you are interested in getting familiar with Philip K. Dick, where do you begin? Even though I don't think his short stories are his best work, I do think it's a great place to start. For example, I'm using the selected stories of Philip K. Dick for my class. This book includes many of my favorite Philip K. Dick short stories, such as Autofac, Second Variety, The Days of Perky Pat, We Can Remember It for You Wholesale, and Faith of Our Fathers. And what's great about this is that you can find many of his short stories as free audiobooks on YouTube. And I'll provide links to Second Variety, We Can Remember It for You Wholesale, Minority Report, and even his novel, Ubik, in the video description below. Also, if you want to find PDF versions of his stories, if you search that up online, you should be able to find some examples there as well. Now, if you've dipped your toe into the Philip K. Dick pool and want to take the next step, visit your local bookstore and look for Ubik, Flow My Tears, the Policeman Said, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and the Three Stigmata of Palmer Eldritch. In my opinion, this is his best work. And if you've gone that far and you still want more, go ahead and turn your brain into a sizzling fajita by reading the Valis trilogy. Well, I hope that was a decent introduction and crash course to the world of Philip K. Dick. Let me know in the comments below, what is your favorite Philip K. Dick story? What do you think of his writing? Yay or nay? And until next time, good luck, readers.